On the land of Kurukshetra, both armies stood face to face. The conches had already been blown, the chariots were ready, the bows had been lifted. But on one chariot, the greatest warrior was broken from within. That warrior was Arjun. In front of Arjun, there were not just enemies. Standing before him were his teachers, his grandfather, his relatives, his friends, and people from his own family. The Gandhi was in his hand, but his mind was trembling. His body was on the battlefield, but his soul was drowned in questions. Arjun said to Shri Krishna, "I do not know what is right for me and what is wrong. My wisdom is confused. Now I am your disciple. Tell me, what should I do?" From here begins the second chapter of the Gita. And from here, Shri Krishna begins to explain to Arjun not only the meaning of war, but the deepest philosophy of life. Shri Krishna says to Arjun, "Those for whom you are grieving are not worthy of grief. You are speaking words of wisdom, but your mind is still trapped in attachment." Shloka 2.11. Ashotchanan vashochastvam prajna vadamscha bhashase gatasoon gatasumscha nanu shochanti pandita. You are grieving for things that should not be grieved for. A truly wise person does not grieve for the living nor for the dead. This may sound harsh, but Shri Krishna was not making Arjun emotionless. He was teaching him the difference between attachment and compassion. Compassion lifts the mind higher. Attachment weakens the mind. After this, Shri Krishna explains the truth of the soul. He says, "The body changes, but the consciousness within does not perish. Childhood goes, youth comes. Youth will go, old age will come. The body keeps changing, but the true inner existence remains." Shloka 2.13. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिर धीरस तत्र न मुह्यति. Just as childhood, youth and old age come to the body, in the same way, after death, the soul receives another body. A steady person is not disturbed by this change. Shri Krishna further says, "Death is not the end. It is only a transformation. Just as a person leaves old clothes and wears new ones, the soul leaves the old body and takes a new body." Shloka 2.22. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naro aparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnanyanyani sanyati navani dehi. Just as a person gives up old clothes and wears new clothes, the soul gives up old bodies and takes new ones. Here, Shri Krishna does not teach Arjun to run away from death. He teaches him to rise above the fear of death. Because the person who lives in the fear of death steps back from his duty. Now Shri Krishna reminds Arjun of his dharma. Arjun was a warrior. His duty was to stand against injustice. This war was not only for a kingdom, it was a struggle between dharma and adharma. Shri Krishna tells Arjun, "Emotions are important, but decisions should not be taken only by flowing with emotions. Sometimes even kindness becomes weakness if it allows injustice to grow." This was Arjun's real crisis. He was unable to understand the difference between compassion and weakness. He was trapped between dharma and relationships. His mind was asking, "Is it right to stand against my own people?" Shri Krishna's answer was, "If even your own people stand with adharma, then it is not right to abandon dharma." After this, Shri Krishna gives the most famous principle of life. Do your karma, but do not drown in worry about the result. Shloka 2.47. Karmanye vadhikaraste Ma faleshu kadachan. Ma karma fal hetur भूर्माते Sangostva karmani. You have a right only over your karma, never over its result. Do not make the result the only reason for your action, and do not become attached to inaction. This shlok is the heart of the Gita. It does not mean that the result has no importance. It means that a person's focus should be on the right action. The result depends on many things, but karma, intention, effort, and patience, these are in our hands. A student can study, but the result is not fully in his hands. A businessman can work hard, but the market is not in his hands. A player can practice, but every moment of the game is not in his hands. That is why the Gita says, do your karma with full dedication. Do not bind your mind with the fear or greed of the result. Then Shri Krishna shows Arjun the path of balance. He says, remaining balanced in success and failure, profit and loss, victory and defeat, this itself is yoga. Shlok 2.48. Yogastah kuru karmani, sangam tyaktva dhananjay, siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva, samatvam yoga uchyate. Meaning, O Dhananjay, give up attachment and perform your karma while established in yoga. Remaining equal in success and failure is called yoga. Here, yoga does not only mean physical postures. Here, yoga means balance of the mind. When a person does not become arrogant in success and does not break down in failure, then he is established in yoga. In chapter 2, Arjun asks another question. He wants to know, what is a person of steady wisdom like? How does he speak? How does he sit? How does he walk? Shri Krishna says, the person who is not a slave of desires is a person of steady wisdom. The one who does not break in sorrow, does not get carried away in happiness, and rises above fear and anger, he is truly steady. Shlok 2.56. Dukheshvanudvigna manah, sukheshu vigata spriha, vitarag bhaya krodha, sthita dhirmo niruchyate. Meaning, the one whose mind is not disturbed in sorrow, who is not overly attached to happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger. Such a person is called one of steady wisdom. This is the greatest need in today's life. A person may be successful from outside, but unstable from within. Many times, even after position, wealth, respect, and comfort, the mind remains restless. Because peace does not come from outside things. Peace comes from inner balance. After this, Shri Krishna explains how a person falls. First, the mind repeatedly goes toward a subject. Then attachment is formed. From attachment, desire is born. If desire is not fulfilled, anger arises. From anger, wisdom is destroyed. And when wisdom is destroyed, a person harms himself. Shlok 2.62-63. Dhyayato vishyan punsah sangasteshu pajayate. Sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodho abhijayate. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhrama. Smriti bhranshad buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. Meaning, by repeatedly thinking about sense objects, attachment is created. From attachment, desire is born. From desire, anger arises. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, memory becomes confused. When memory is lost, wisdom is destroyed. And when wisdom is destroyed, a person falls. This shlok is still equally true today. Sometimes, a person gets trapped in an object, sometimes in a position, sometimes in another person, sometimes in the desire for respect, fame, or victory. And then that very desire takes away his peace. The Gita does not say that desire is wrong. The Gita says, desire should be your servant, not your master. At the end of chapter 2, Shri Krishna gives the example of the ocean. Rivers keep flowing into the ocean. But the ocean does not cross its limit. It remains steady. In the same way, the person into whom desires enter, but who does not become disturbed by them, attains peace. Shlok 2.70 Apuryamanam machal pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kam kami. Meaning, just as many rivers enter the ocean, yet the ocean remains steady. In the same way, the person into whom desires enter, but who is not disturbed by them, attains peace. The second chapter of the Gita gives us the complete foundation of life. It teaches us the body changes, but the soul remains steady. Emotions are necessary, but decisions should be taken with wisdom. Running away from duty is not a solution. Karma is in our hands, the result is not. And balance of the mind is true yoga. In this chapter, Arjun was not only becoming ready for war, he was coming out of the fear, attachment, and confusion within him. That is why chapter 2 of the Gita is not only Arjun's story. It is the story of every person who stands before a big decision, a big crisis, or a big responsibility in life. When the mind trembles, when the path looks unclear, when there is a conflict between emotion and duty, then the Gita says, recognize your dharma. Do the right karma. Keep your mind steady. Do not drown in worry about the result. Because the greatest victory in life is not in the outer war, but in the war within.
If you enjoyed this video and would like to explore the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and other great epics of Bharat, please consider subscribing to Mahakavya.